and welcome to the Iron Spoon Kitchen. The Iron Spoon is ready to help celebrate our semi-quincentennial, our country's 250th birthday. And I can't think of anything better than to do something with chocolate. And so we're going to do chocolate cake and a chocolate drink. Now back in the 17th and 18th, well, let's say 18th and 19th century, when someone said chocolate cake, it was kind of like saying having coffee cake, because what you were going to have was a white cake or a yellow cake with a hot chocolate drink. And I'm going to be making that hot chocolate drink today almost the way George Washington would have had it many years ago. But we're also going to have the quintessential chocolate cake from old Betty Crocker's recipe book. I think that bridges our gap from 1776 to 2026 without any trouble at all. So let's go ahead and get started with this. We have all of our ingredients here. We have our buttermilk, we have our baking soda, and the baking soda and the buttermilk will mix together and form air in the cake. If you watch the lemon pound cake episode, you'll learn all about baking soda. But anyway, the buttermilk is the acid for the soda. 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, 1.5 cups of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 cup of butter. And of course, and we can't forget our cocoa powder, which I think is 1 2/3 cup. But let's see. 2/3 cup. Yeah, that'd be a lot if it was 1 2/3. So we have 2/3 cup of cocoa, chocolate cocoa powder. But we are missing our flour, and my friend JB is going to be delivering that shortly. So and I got my window open so I can listen for him, and hopefully he'll be here. Well, how about that? Speak of the devil. I can hear him coming. Yep, there he is. Okay, let me go let him in and get the flour. Well, JB was quite the sight coming out there with the flour, and this is 1 2/3 cup of Napoletana flour from Napoli, or Naples as we would say it. But this is what's neat, is that he brought me was this flag, and he said this is a continental flag, and this was the first official or semi-official flag of what would become the United States. And it has 13 stripes on it, but it also has, the Union Jack in the corner. Because at that time, when this was first flown by George Washington, it was January 1st, 1776. And then after the Declaration of Independence was written, then it got changed with the stars in the canton there. So anyway, I thought that was very neat, the continental flag. I think I knew about that. But that's very interesting. Oh, if you notice, he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt. He is on his way to celebrate the 4th of July in Hawaii. Can you believe it? But I don't think he's taking his horse. I'm sure you heard him leaving here. All right, well, I'm going to get this put away, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, one of the neat things about this recipe, and I think I said this is Betty Crocker recipe, and is that you can just mix everything together. But we're going to start off, though, we're going to get the sugar in there, and that's 1.5 cups of sugar. And then we have a 1/2 cup of butter. In fact, why don't you come over here a little bit closer so you can see all the mixing I'm going to be doing. And we have our softened butter. Well, it's not necessarily soft yet, but it's been sitting out for about an hour or so. And let's get this all mixed together. And of course, you can use a mixer. I'm using the Mixerator 5000 here. And when I add this hand, it'll be the Mixerator 10,000. Well, let's make the 10,000. Get this thing going. Okay, let's swap out our bowls. Let's get our Italian flour in here. Please pardon this interruption. We want to remind you to like and subscribe. It makes a difference. We now return you to your regularly scheduled program. And JB brought, if I can get the package open. And this is 1 2/3 cup. And this is a very fine flour. And it does make a difference from American flour. So let's see, let's add our little bit of salt. That's 1 teaspoon of salt. Let's mix that up a little bit. Let's get our cocoa powder in there. And that's 2/3 of a cup. Now I'm going to add our baking soda. This is our leavening agent. Get that all mixed throughout there. And then we'll be adding our buttermilk. That's 1 1/2 cups. Let's get that mixed together. Add our 2 eggs. Our vanilla, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now I'm going to get this all mixed together, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, I've got that all mixed together, but I wanted to do a little bit better job of mixing, so I got out the electric mixer, and I'm going to add our butter and sugar to this. Let's get that all whipped together. I think that looks great. Let me get my cake pans. It's time to get our cake pans filled. These are 9-inch pans. Oh yeah, we're going to be doing frosting and everything on this. Yeah, I've got our cake batter in here. And one of the things that's interesting about this is that those box cakes that most people buy, yeah, here's a picture one. They really didn't start out with a chocolate one until about 1948. Here's an ad for Pillsbury. I didn't realize it was, relatively recent that that came about. Hey, now into the oven, 350 degrees for, let's see, 30 minutes, something like that. Now it's time to make that chocolate drink, a chocolate hot drink, because they wouldn't have called it just hot chocolate back then. And I've got this brand here called Chocolate Ibarra from Mexico, and it says since 1925. And it says to put 4 cups with 1 1/2 of these tablets here. But being the great cook I am, I experimented and found that you just do 1 1/2 of these in 4 cups, it doesn't taste too chocolatey. So I have determined take 1 of these and with 2 cups of Okay, well, I'm not going to bother to break this up. I don't want to show my strength too much. So we're going to put that in the bottom of the pan and add our milk and heat it up on low. Now, in George Washington's day, they would have added cinnamon to it, and this chocolate disc has cinnamon in it, nutmeg, and they would even put in some cayenne pepper as well to make it a little bit more spicy. It looks like our chocolate is done, and this is like right at 9 minutes. And I had it on medium low. remember, this is 2 cups of milk, whole milk. The recipe called for 4, but it just didn't taste that good with just 4. And here's the brand. So now, let's serve this up. And this would be served up into nice cups. So here's a cup of from my grandmother's china. And you'll notice that, yeah, it's not all dark in color, but I can tell you it is delicious. Oh, they are done. So it is time to get these out of the oven. Now we're ready to get our fudge frosting done. And this is also from the Betty Crocker cookbook. And we're going to start off with a 1/2 cup of sugar in there and 2 tablespoons of the cocoa. We're going to mix that together just to get it all there. Get it all mixed. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add our milk, 1/4 cup of milk. 2 tablespoons of butter. Oop. And let's see what else we have here. Oh, tablespoon of corn syrup. Yes, and you're probably thinking, oh, looks like you're making candy. And we are, but we're not going to make it up to where it's super hard. This is a fudge frosting. So we are in the candy making mode. I'm going to put that on medium there. Let's get this all mixed together. Probably could have used a smaller pot. But this is what we have, so this is what we'll use. It's starting to boil. And I don't have my candy thermometer out because I don't need it to be exact. The directions say just to watch it until it boils. I'm going to add my vanilla. And then a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. I've got that pretty smooth now. I did turn the heat back on because that powdered sugar wasn't dissolving quick enough. But I think we're ready now. I'm going to let that cool. I'm going to go get the cakes. Okay, the cake is out. And we're going to do our first layer of the fudge mix. And remember, since this is like a fudge, we're not going to be putting on a whole lot like we would with the cream frosting. Now, I've done this before, but it has been a long time. But it seems to be working out okay. I think I can put a little bit more there. Let's get this out of here. In fact, why don't you come over here a little closer so you can see exactly how I'm doing it. And let me put a little bit more. Looks like it's really soaked into there. Which is perfect. And let's go ahead and get this one out. That came out nice and easy. I think I'm going to put the round part on top here. Let's get the rest of this. And this is going to more or less go over the edges. Okay, I think we've got it. May not be perfect, but I think it's good enough for the semi-quincentennial and special enough for it also. So I'm gonna let that cool and then Got some nice little decorations for it. Now that is a way to celebrate. Well, here we are. We get to finally taste our cake. And this is our 10th and final episode of our road to 250. But not the last one for the Iron Spoon Kitchen. We have lots more coming for that. But I hope that you are celebrating on this day in the most wonderful way possible by enjoying really good food. Of course, that's a real good part of it. And I'm going to taste a little bit of the hot chocolate drink, or the chocolate drink. That is good, and it has cinnamon in it. I think I'm going to buy this for hot chocolate all the time now. So take a look at that. It does need to get stirred up because the cinnamon and stuff rises to the top, but that's okay. Boy, who cares? So let's give this cake a taste now. Let's get the decorations off of there. Let's give this a little slice. Don't want to be too big of a piece, but you don't want to be stingy either. Well, let's put that there. See if we can get this out of here. That first one. Ah, there it is. Okay. Well, let's give this a taste. Well, it sure looks good. Excellent. That fudge icing is just perfect. Oh, now I'll have a sip of my chocolate drink. Boy, what a combination. Now, if you did want to do this with a yellow cake with chocolate frosting, that would be perfectly good also. But this has been a fun episode. And I hope that you have enjoyed and learned stuff about the history of our country, from the founding of it to the centennial, the bicentennial, and that you come up with some other ideas of your own. In fact, you might even have some ideas for me. If you've come up with a lost or forgotten recipe, maybe one that you had a relative that did, or even one that you have, that, boy, people just don't make that anymore. Well, put that in the comments and let me hear about it. And maybe it's something that I can use. I would sure like to see that. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful 4th of July. And thank you for joining me for these 10 episodes of the Iron Spoon Kitchen.